Hi guys, it's Suga and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing my October wrap-up. Yeah, it's kind of late. I was hoping to film this beginning of the month, but then I saw the quality of my videos were decreasing a little bit because of the light. So I ordered a ring light from Amazon to see if it improves a little bit. The quality of it was the quality of my phone that is not the best. The quality is not the best, but the ring light could help a little bit. I don't know how many books I've read. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 6 books. So, sorry, but I was checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I read 7 books in September, which is a plus for me. I don't tend to read as much books, but I'm very happy. Yeah, but with no particular order, I will try to remember the books by almost the order, but don't trust me because I don't remember all of them. But yeah, but before we dive into the books that I read in September, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's very important for the channels to leave a like. If you don't want to leave a comment, just leave an emoji, something to show, because it helps with the algorithm and it helps us to grow, and it's very important for us. And let's start. So I believe the first book that I read was Small Great Things by Jodi. It was one of the books I was transitioning from the other month. I have reviews for all these books here, except for the manga that I read. If you want, I can do a review of it, but I didn't think it was needed. But I'll link up here and down below if you want to check the full review. But Small Great Things is about racism, and it was the form that Jodi found to educate the white community about racism through her own experience, and the story about a black nurse who was take off a job because she was black. I think it was a very good book. I really liked it. One of the best from her. I gave it 5 stars over the top. One of the best for her. Bookmarks Chronicle loved that book, so I think it's a very good book if you want to dive into that topic. I think Jodi did an amazing job as usual. Then I got into an ARC Steam for a Portuguese author that was releasing her book in English, which was Summoner's Cry by Ana Reis. I didn't like the book. I think the concept was interesting. The writing style was not bad, but the book felt a lot like the middle of a series, like the end. A lot of missing opportunities, a lot of missing explanations. I was a little bit on a live stream that she did on when she released the book, and she explained that it was because of budgets and everything. But I think now I think is trying to read prequels about it, and I'm not interested on that because it doesn't add up to the story, because we know what happened. Imagine if she starts writing a prequel and she puts them in a dangerous situation. We know they will survive because we know the end. So you see, the stakes are not high as should be. I think if she wanted to start, I think she could start it as in the beginning of the story, because there were a lot of missing opportunities there. I have a full review if you want to see it, but I feel like the book was interesting in terms of concept, but it should have been started in the beginning and not in the end, because there are a lot of things that were saying instead of showing, a lot of lacking information that for a fantasy was very lacking, so I couldn't give it more than 2 stars. Then I read Wish You Were Here by Jodi. It was the arc that I got. I was super excited. I have also a full review. Wish You Were Here is about the COVID pandemic. So we have Diana, who have a life plan, and she wants to get married by 30 and the kids by 35. But then when she thinks she's gonna get proposed, COVID happens. She's ended up in the Galapagos alone. It's because her fiance has to be on the hospital, and that has a life situation, and she has a life change, and she starts to make connecting the dots and try to see what the life is about. I think Jodi make a good job showing what this pandemic did to us and what it did to a lot of people and a lot of couples. I think it was very interesting to see that, and to it's to be as hit here. But it was very interesting to see how she changed her life and how she put her life in perspective. And I think for later generations, they will have something to see what what it changed to us and what it meant to us and how bad it was. The tales of her fiance on the hospital was heartbreaking, and yeah, I totally recommend it. It's gonna be released this month in November, nearly the end of the month. Then I was a little bit on a slump because of what things were happening. So I finished Sight by Neil Schusterman. I was reading this with Mary and Amanda. I don't know if the review is up yet, but if it's not, it will be up soon. So Sight is a dystopian, utopian world where people are not longer dying for natural causes. So we have the sites who are the ones who have to glean people to maintain the population more or less stable. We followed the main characters Citra and Rowan, who are chosen by Site Faraday to be their apprentice, but since he's taking two, it opens a precedent, and they were like a site trying to getting power, and he says, okay, one gets the win and the other gets killed by that one. The story goes around that. We follow Citra and Rowan. I really like the story. Very fast paced, very good for reading slumps. The world is very immersive. I'm totally want to read the second one. It was a great recommendation from Jeremy. Thank you so much again. And yeah, thank you Mary and Amanda for reading this with me. I think we're gonna be read next month. Let's see if it's gonna happen, but I'm very happy with it. And yeah, totally recommend it, and you can see my spoiler review, but I think I'll give it 5 stars. Then I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna read because I will not pick Legendborn, so I ended up reading in What Day My Brother's Husband by Gengoro Tagame, which is a manga. It's a 4-volume, and I read that in like 2 hours. I gave it 5 stars. It's about a Canadian who is going to Tokyo to visit his brother husband, but his brother, the husband's brother doesn't know about him, and he doesn't know that who he is, because he never accepted that his brother was gay, and that goes in this creating his relationship and accepting his brother-in-law and as part of the family and going against the society in Japan. I think it was a very good book. The illustrations are gorgeous. The characters are so sweet. I totally loved it. I totally recommend it. If you want a light manga with some interesting topics, I totally recommend this one. It's a very fast. I read it like in 2 hours, the 4 volumes, because it's just like, it's a manga. We read it faster, but it's such a good story that you feel very much connected with the characters, and you, in this society that is a little bit different from ours, because it's sometimes a little bit closer in some topics. But yeah, I totally recommend if you want to check it. This was one of my reads, and yeah. I think the last book that I've read in, I would say September again. God, I'm saying September a lot. In October is Legendborn, Retracts in the On. This is her debut novel and the first book on the Legendborn Cycle series. The second one comes out next year. I really like the story. I think the story is very interesting on the point of view of characters, Bree, grief, and trauma. It's very good explained here. The magic system is interesting, the rootcraft, and even the Arthurian cycle. Although the Arthurian part is sometimes a little bit confusing, but I totally liked it. I think the love triangle here is unnecessary. This book doesn't need a romance. It could just be an adventure without romance, or just one love. I don't like love triangles. I don't tend to like them. I don't tend to find them interesting, especially in the story, because now I know the second book may go with more romance than it needed, because they're trying to save the world. They don't need romance. But yeah, that's why I think only big nitpick that I got. I think the book is very interesting. It's kind of chunky, and the letters are not big in my edition, but it's a very interesting read. The character, it's very good to follow as a main protagonist and main POV. Yeah, and I'm really excited to see more of this world. I already pre-ordered the second one. Let's see. I buddy read this with Kim from Expedition Through Pages. Thank you again, Kim, for buddy reading this with me. We are starting to buddy read the second one. If you want to join us, just talk about when the time comes up, and we'll create a new chat for all of you who wants to buddy read this with us. But yeah, I ended up giving probably 4 or 5 stars, like 4.5, but yeah, it was a very interesting book. So guys, these were the books that I've read in, I would say, January. Oh my god, what's going to me? I don't know which month I am in. in October. Tell me in the comments, how was your month of October? Which book do you find interesting on your reads? Which book do you find on my reads interesting to read? If you are excited to read any of these, I would love to discuss with you. If you reach this far, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's very important for us content creators. If you don't want to leave a comment, just leave an emoji. The first emoji that you have on your keyboard is the one that you put. Yeah, I would like to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, if that's possible. If you want to help, just subscribe. And yeah, I post videos every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I have live reading sprints on Fridays, and I see you guys on my next video. Bye.